Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name is Daab the Great, and in this video, I'm going to be reacting to the Stranger Things 4 Welcome to California Netflix teaser trailer. Ha! Psych! No one gives a fuck. I don't care about Stranger Things. A gay-ass show. No, what I'm going to be reacting to is all the way down here somewhere. Oh, it's not in trending anymore. Okay, I'm going to react to Elden Ring. Elden Ring gameplay trailer. I know nothing about this. I know that people are excited for it, and I have no idea why. I know that George R.R. Martin is attached to it. I think that's why some people are excited. And it's also made by FromSoftware. Now, I have seen the cinematic trailers for this. Let's see. Cinematic trailers for... Yes, Elden Ring. He's the writer for this game. I also have seen some of the trailers for the cinematics of this game. It doesn't look anything spectacular, but people are excited for it. Mountain Dew, not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. Please disregard. Okay, cool. And if you don't know FromSoftware, they make games like, I shall show you. FromSoftware is a, I didn't know they were Japanese. Interesting. FromSoftware, they make, their biggest games were, if I'm not mistaken, Dark Souls, of course. Demon Souls before that, if I'm not mistaken. Demon Souls, right? Bloodborne. They're very popular for Bloodborne. Dark Souls 3. And Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. So they're fairly popular developer. I've never played, personally, any of the games made by them. I hear they're extremely difficult, but also extremely well put together. So I have no idea what to expect. It has 4.7 million views and was trending for a couple days. So yeah, let's see it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us today.
It's gonna be one of these.
In this video, we'll show some footage of our new action RPG, Elden Ring. We hope it helps to convey a little of this title's mood and gameplay.
Hurry the fuck up!
Elden Ring is set here, in the lands between. This is a site of grace, acting as a place of rest for the player. Occasionally, grace will manifest rays of guiding light.
What the fuck?
Of course, we're free to choose whether to follow this guidance, or head off to explore in a different direction.
Oh yeah, I am aware of the fact that this is going to be the first open world game developed by FromSoftware, if I'm not mistaken. It looks cool. It looks massive. I mean, I'm a big... Jesus Christ, dude. I thought I was going to snatch him up for a second. Fucking hell, dude. That's actually kind of scary. That doesn't happen a lot when I play games. I don't think that a lot is scary. What the hell? Oof. Why are they constantly cutting between shots right here? Why can't they just show, like... Why do they keep doing that, man? Are they trying to hide something? Like, anytime a developer is trying to cut between different elements of gameplay, it always has me a little skeptical. Because what are they trying to hide? Are they hiding performance issues? Are they hiding repetitive fucking gameplay? What are they hiding? I mean, this looks impressive, right? But they're cutting like a motherfucker. That was cool. I appreciate that. I like how it came out of nowhere.
Help me. I'm stuck. Hello? Please, anyone? Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck here. Please, can you help me out of this? Put those doubts to rest. I'll be just fine. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
Alright, a pot. A talking pot. What is this, a Disney show?
Well played, good sir. Well played. Though that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me.
There's a lot of abrupt cuts, just like, okay, moving on. And there's a whole lot of nothing in this. It's like, yeah, look around, help the guy.
The map can prove useful when exploring the world, and is populated by acquiring map fragments.
Okay.
We can use markers to customize the map, such as setting reminders for the location of crafting materials or dangerous enemies.
1 out of 100, so you can set 100 of those. Interesting. Show multiplayer status. Oh, Jesus.
Beacons can also be placed to help with orientation.
Okay. Is that just
Beacons
a waypoint?
placed on the map appear in the world.
Wow, just a fucking waypoint. Move on. We've had them in like a million games up until now. Wow, waypoint. Fascinating. That's not the
Spirit
waypoint, is it?
springs can be used while on horseback to launch high into the air. This allows for stress-free traversal of areas with a great deal of verticality.
There we go, another awkward cut. What are they trying to hide, man? I mean, how long has this game been in development? Like a couple years now, right? I mean, it looks like it runs pretty smooth. So, I mean, that's good, but again, this is heavily edited gameplay footage. Okay, wow,
The carriage over
binoculars.
there is carrying treasure, an opportunity too good to pass up. We'll prepare for combat with some item crafting, using materials found in the world.
Did he even aim that?
Enemy stance can be broken with heavy strikes, such as when attacking from above. A variety of unique attacks can also be interchanged between weapons. In more perilous situations, we can summon spirits to assist us in battle. Spirits vary greatly in type, so we look forward to players experimenting and finding their personal favorites.
How long has this video been going? Jesus.
Online multiplayer can also be enjoyed.
I'm
with
not gonna
players
lie,
from other
I'm
worlds,
kind of bored
from
shitless.
cooperative to PvP and invasions.
Hey!
Deadly creatures stalk this forest, so we'll use stealth to avoid detection.
Nothing but a powerful sense of the obvious. So we got bigger creatures. I mean, the game is very pretty. I can give it that much. But, yeah, if my playthrough of Guardians of the Galaxy is any indication of
We've
anything,
come across a boss guarding this area. We'll take it on with the help of our co-op partner.
I don't really care how good a game looks. There's got to be substance beyond the game, and this. So you can have two different weapons, either a shield or a weapon, or like a sorcerer's stick, depending on how you equip your character. That's interesting. The usual type of FromSoftware gameplay of bosses. You gotta roll and parry and then attack when they're weak. Seems pretty basic stuff. I don't know what that is. Is that special attack or what? Again, very... Jesus, dude. Come on, man. I want to stay on one thing. Show me something over the other. I mean, a smart gameplay decision. Like when you get off the horse, they get the horse and get rid of it, so it doesn't eat up memory, so they can dedicate it to other things. Very smart decision. I mean, the world, and how the game looks from a aesthetic standpoint and from a art direction standpoint is very good. I mean, I really do appreciate fantasy worlds that have a grand sense of scale to them. That's what I feel like a lot of Lord of the Rings games are lacking. With as much as I liked Shadow of Mordor, that game, I do believe that the one letdown...
Caves, mines, and other dungeons can be found while out exploring the world.
The one letdown of Shadow of War...
These dungeons each hold their own secrets, from hidden treasures to fearsome bosses.
No, that's cool. Shadow of Mordor did not have a grand sense of scale that I usually associate with Lord of the Rings. Shadow of War is the one game that I believe did have that grand sense of scale and vast vertical landscapes, which this game I think is going to have times probably 2 times 3. It does look like a very huge, very large open world, not just from a traditional sense of landmass, but as well as like verticality. And scale of like structures, castles, etc. But you know, it still remains to be seen how much of these worlds you can actually visit. Because again, I'm seeing a lot of nothing here, a lot of nothing.
Greetings.
Hi.
Traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
Dramatic face reveal. Holy fuck, a girl. Wow.
I offer you an accord.
That was underwhelming. Alright, cool. Accord, what is that?
We've reached Stormvale Castle, a large-scale dungeon which connects seamlessly with the surrounding Limgrave region.
Okay, yep. Yep, let's see. How big is it? How much of the castle can you actually interact with? Can you, like, scale those walls? Can you get on the very tippy top of it? Or is it just, you know, is all of that just for show and you have a series of corridors that are all you can play in? Like, that's the thing. It's like, is it going to be grand?
You're tarnished, aren't you? I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle.
Like, is it going to be big just for show, or is it actually going to be fully rendered, and will there be actually exploration mechanics that will allow you to go everywhere in the castle? Yes, I know I'm talking over this guy, but I don't think that there's anything to really listen to.
Fair enough. You certainly don't have to trust me. Well, if you must go through the gates, I'll signal them to open. But of course, I'd advise against it. The gates! Open the gates!
So that old man just literally said there's a back way or a front way, and this guy chose to go in the front way. Is that what I understood correctly? Okay. Some player choice, I guess, right? Healing potions, that's
The main route seems risky,
surprise.
so we'll try entering through a back way.
Yep, of course. Like I said, there's nothing really to listen to. Alright. I'm curious to see what stealth mechanics are going to be in this game, because it doesn't look like there's too much actual stealth. I think it's just remain undetected until you decide to attack, and then after that, hopefully you're in a good position and you have your abilities charged up to the point where you can actually deal some serious damage and get rid of them quickly. But who knows? There could be some hidden stealth mechanics that they're not showing off here.
Extra care should be taken when moving through dungeons, as visibility and terrain differ from when in the open.
There's a lot of dungeons.
We hope players enjoy getting a feel for the different types of areas and coming up with suitable strategies for each.
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, of course, the usual FromSoftware cheap deaths. Cheap deaths. Jesus Christ. Wow. That's a little unnerving. Okay. So you can traverse the whole castle? Okay, alright. There you go. Have traversal mechanics to where you can go everywhere.
Dungeons are complex and multi-layered, meaning they can be tackled
This isn't
from a
just
number
one
of
like
routes.
set pathway, is it? Oh, it better not be one set pathway. That's getting numb.
Nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormvale Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind.
Another quick cut. Why? Like, I've been playing video games and watching press conferences and E3 showcases for long enough to realize that whatever they show here, they show it very intentionally. And they're not showing a lot. They're cutting away from a lot, which is very unsettling to me. As I've said many times already in this video. I mean, what I see is fine, for the most part, and I'll talk about it after this.
In this next boss fight, we challenge one of the demigods, ruler of Stormvale, Godric the Golden.
Mighty dragon.
Is this the guy that was shown in the other cinematic trailer for this a couple months ago?
Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights.
A six-fingered hand. Nice.
Well, lonely times,
You gotta be shitting me.
plain as a lord. I command thee kneel.
Jesus.
I am the lord of all that is golden.
What the fuck? The Lord. It's a lord, but it looks like a witch. Right? I don't know why I'm asking this. I mean, it's neither man nor woman. It's a fucking weird-ass demigod monstrosity. Love how it still attacks like a two-armed creature, you know, for the purpose and simplicity of gameplay. He has a dragon as a hand? Jesus.
Thank you for watching.
You're welcome.
This was just a brief introduction to Elden Ring's fundamentals.
Yeah, shut up. I don't care. What else we got? Do we have anything else?
Support.
Alright, yeah, I'll watch this.
Soon return.
Greatly appreciate your continued support.
What else we got?
The tarnished will soon return.
Someone must extinguish thy flame.
Is that the same guy? That's not the same guy, is it?
They will fight. And they will die. For how else is a champion to be born?
That's the same guy. Alright. So, February of 2022. Okay. So, let me just do this real quick. Alright. I'm not going to be looking directly into the camera. The fuck? There we go. I'm not going to be looking directly in the camera because there's a light on the camera. So, forgive me for it's just I'm using my phone as a camera. So what do I think? All right, I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. Listen, so first of all, like I've said before many times in this video, I think only once. I have never played a FromSoftware game. I never played Dark Souls, never played Bloodborne, never played Demon Souls. I've had a lot of people ask me to play those games, and a lot of people tell me that they're good. So I do not know the significance, the history of the series. I have no idea the story, the lore. I know that there's a huge fan base of those games. I get it. I also have not watched Game of Thrones. I've not read any of the, what is it called? The Fire and Ice books. What is it? Fire and Ice? No, it's something else. I can't remember what it is. Whatever the books. George R.R. Martin. I am aware of... I know of Game of Thrones. I know of Game of Thrones. A Song of Ice and Fire. I've not read those books. I've not watched the series Game of Thrones. I am aware of what fans think of the show and how Season 8 was a real disappointment for a lot of people. I am aware of that. I'm also aware of the fact that people are upset with George R.R. Martin for not finishing the series of books. I believe he's stuck on the 6th book out of 8. 7th book out of 8, one of the two. I don't exactly know. I know that he's stuck on one of the books and he hasn't finished it, and he's been working on it for 10 years. I understand all that, right? I've had people describe it to me as like, okay, imagine that your favorite author, let's say that Tolkien wrote Fellowship of the Rings, Two Towers, and then it took him 10 years to come up with Return of the King. So I can imagine how people are very fucking pissed off about that. And I can understand how some people are not necessarily thrilled with the fact that George R.R. Martin is working on this game instead of finishing up those series of books. But with all that being said, with all that out of the way, with all that context out of the way, from someone who is not familiar with George R.R. Martin and hence is not part of that hype train, as well as someone who has never played a FromSoftware game and is not part of that hype train, as just a filthy casual, if you were, right? I'm not particularly impressed. The first, I'd say about 80% of this gameplay, like trailer, bored the absolute living fuck out of me. So the pros of this game is, from what I understand, George R.R. Martin is very good at crafting stories and crafting worlds and writing characters. So I'm sure that the story will be interesting. Slow, but interesting. Probably not for me. I'm not big on the whole high fantasy genre. I only really like Lord of the Rings and Chronicles of Narnia. Those are my two franchises that I stick with, and I just stick with those two. So the story is probably going to be something that's interesting. The world building is going to be something that's interesting. The art direction in this game, very good. I like the colors. I like how it's a little bit more muted. I know that that's FromSoftware's thing, that's how they like to roll, with a lot more muted color palettes and everything being very dark. I have no problem with that. It looks like there's enough detail in the lighting, enough detail on how they render their levels and their characters to allow you to understand what's going on and set certain moods. That seems all right. Visually, this is a great looking game. The worlds are very expansive. Now, again, I mentioned this a little bit. I'm a little bit curious to see exactly how big this open world is and how detailed the open world is. Because, like I said, the game seems like it is very vast and very extremely massive, vertically speaking, meaning that all of the castles and the structures and the cathedrals and the like will be to scale, and they'll be massive. But I'm kind of curious to see how much of that is just for show and how much of that is legitimately something that is part of the gameplay and you can actually interact with and move around and explore. Because I hate those games where it's huge, it's massive, but you're walled off in your little invisible area. So the castle's like over there, but you have your little invisible area here, and it's just for show. I hate that shit. That's what I was saying before. Lord of the Rings games, especially Lego Lord of the Rings, pissed me off in that sense, right? Even when I was 12 years old, when I played that game many, many years ago. The only game that really ever kind of satisfied my quench for that huge, massive, high fantasy scale is Middle-earth: Shadow of War, especially, what is it? It's not Minas, is it Minas Morgul? Yes, it's Minas Morgul, where you can climb to the top of the tower that was Gondorian, taken over by the Nazgul. Anyone who's played that game would know. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't. I know it's kind of late, but whatever. Now let's get to the most important part to any video game, gameplay. Dude, it looks fucking boring as shit. It looks like FromSoftware is literally just copying every single other open world developer out there. I mean, what they showcased in this trailer was literally binoculars, zoom, calling a horse out of nowhere, using like some weird funnel to jump up, multiplayer co-op, which from what I understand was in Dark Souls 3, very basic stuff, emotes. Do I think that the game is going to be bad in that sense? No, I just don't think it's going to be for me. I think it's going to be very, very boring for most people. It looks like Dark Souls, but an open world video game. Am I interested in this game? I think that's the biggest question, right? Slightly. But I'm not going to get this day one. I have no intention of playing this. I have no intention of paying $60 for this game. Would I want to eventually play it? Sure. But just as much as I'd like to play the other games, Dark Souls and Sekiro. Honestly, out of all the games from FromSoftware, the one game that I put on the top of their list I've actually been wanting to really play for a while is Sekiro. Something Died Twice, because that seems like a little bit more of a casual game. It's also set in a less like gothic fantasy world. I'm not a big fan of gothic fantasies and the whole dark, creepy, like dungeon-esque vibes of their games. But Sekiro Died Twice is a little more samurai. Is a little bit less, grotesque fantasy. So I Sekiro, this game, everything else. As far as interest in Sekiro, which is above Elden Ring, I'd probably say out of, like, I don't know, when do I want to play that game? I have at least probably 30 to 40 games I would like to play before that. I have very little interest in this. The trailer in and of itself, it was boring as fuck, dude. It was boring as fuck. I have nothing more to say about that. Like, if you're excited, cool. Let me know in the comments down below. But from a filthy casual, like I said, dude, I almost fell asleep during this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. You have a great rest of your day.